A Way of Life is a coaching consultant company. We help people manage their career and business using astrology. Astrology is a holistic process that allows us to help people align with what they are passionate about. We provide the tools to build your personal development to live your best life. A Way of Life Coaching Consulting Company. For a reading or coaching, call Keisha Reed at 781-602-0986. That's 781-602-0986. Or check our website, www.awayoflife.net. That's www.awayoflife.net. A Way of Life is a coaching consultant company. Live your best life.
All right. Peace, 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 family. How's everybody doing out there? I hope everybody is enjoying this Aries New Moon energy. I, for one, have been sleeping my behind off, but nonetheless, I am enjoying this moment. I don't have any updates today other than I did get my cards. I'm super excited about that. And I will start. I've already started doing readings on my on Everclear where I am. Maybe I'll post that number somewhere. I should probably make a post for that. But so I do readings over on another platform, a hotline that I'm connected to every now and again, mostly through text. I don't often do calls, but you do have the opportunity to hit me up there. I have a direct line. And then also you can go to my line. I'm extension 10. And then you have Serena. She's back. She's extension 12, I believe. I probably have to change that voicemail because I think I might have other people on there that are no longer here. So I might have to work on that. But for the most part, nothing major to announce today. So with that being said, I am just going to get right on into this Aries New Moon energy. All right. So this Aries New Moon happened yesterday. New moons are a time to set new intentions. Depending on where this is in your chart, this is planting a new seed for where you are now, who you are now, and how you're going to change to align what you want to grow moving forward and for the next 12 months, really, because again, this is the astrological new year. So this is kind of like New Year's Eve, New Year's, like the way you celebrate in January. This is a significant new beginning because we had all that new energy with the great conjunction at the end of the year and that Jupiter moving into Aquarius, which kind of was like the hint to moving into the age of Aquarius, although depending on who you ask, some people might disagree. But Aries rules assertiveness, drive, anger, and that warrior energy. Not to mention, all the planets are still direct until the 27th of this month, adding to the forward movement. And we'll have 4 planets in Aries. So that's Sun, because it's Aries season, Moon, Aries New Moon, Mercury is currently in Aries, and Venus is in Aries during this new moon. Just another indication that things are going to be happening quickly, especially with that Mercury energy. The mind it could be going crazy. So if you didn't catch my mental health live I did with Miss Leah, I think the video should be on my YouTube channel where we talked about astrology and mental health. I've definitely checked that out, but this could just be a lot of fast movement with the mind literally going crazy. But these are all cardinal signs. This is just forward movement. So be mindful not to make big decisions too quickly. Remember the energy from Mars being in Taurus to stop and think things through. Take your time before you make any big decisions. You want to keep that going throughout this entire process because Saturn is going to come back around. Okay, Saturn. Remember all last year what Saturn was teaching us? Slow down, be mindful, turn inward for answers and information. Check in with yourself every once in a while, and really remembering what happens when you don't, right? But mental health, mental illness could also be a thing coming up at this time. Forgetfulness, again, with that fast movement of the mind, Mercury, even writing things down to remember might help. Or having like a voice recorder when things come up for you so that you don't forget, because this could be like some real sharp, dope ideas that you will never get back again. I shouldn't say that. Never say never, right? But you might find it hard to be like, damn, what was it? I had a real good idea, didn't write it down. And now that's out the window. You might feel the need to like be moving consistently because it's a fire. Aries is a fire sign, and fire energy is also very fast moving energy, but Aries is a cardinal energy too. This could be also a lot of injuries, especially with the hands, because Aries is in Mercury. Mercury, Gemini rules the hands. Burns, cuts. I done burnt myself up a few times, although I didn't need Aries and Mercury to do that. I'm always on 10, moving around, doing stuff. And that's what happens when you don't take your time. I burnt myself. So there's that. A lot of burns because we're talking about a fire sign. Cuts, bruises because Mars rules sharp objects and items. Sharp tongue because Mars is like that warrior sign. So you could be, this could be a lot of negative self-talk or sharp responses, or warring, the mental war, self-talk internally with yourself about going back and forth with the new and the old. You having that battling it out. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Mars. And yeah. I kind of want to say this might have something to do with hospitals after doing that Mars and Neptune live. That's what I'm really thinking about. I'm like, damn, did I forget to mention something? So I'll just use the time to do that right now. So currently, during this new moon too, Neptune is squaring Mars. So I didn't talk about this in my live that I just did on IG. If you want to go check to see what that could be bringing to you is Neptune also rules hospitals, asylums, prisons, retreats, sleep, dreams, illusions, delusions, addictions, escapism. So you could be like, there could be some stuff going on around hospitals, illness, sickness, with you, because Mars rules the self. On the opposite end of that, just coming out of the Libra full moon, could be relationships, like someone you're in a relationship with, perhaps a marriage partner, but it doesn't have to be. It can definitely just be relationships in general, or like your clients, right? Because Libra rules your clientele, your mentorship, your clients. It could be that COVID stuff coming up with work or business, because Aries also rules entrepreneurship. It could also equate to your career life. Maybe there's something coming up there around COVID. This can also just be another aspect that just came to me that's playing out with this energy. When you do stuff like this, the downloads, they just so. But anyway, remember to, think things through is the major overall message here with all this fast moving energy, especially because Saturn is having its, oh my God, I think I left it in the yearly readings, but Saturn is still, all that energy from Saturn is still very strong, lighter, but it's still very strong here because Aquarius, the ancient ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, and Saturn is the modern ruler of Capricorn. So Saturn will be back around to be like, okay, did you learn from last year what I was trying to teach you? So anything you move too quickly and without having had thinking things through, Saturn will be back to double check. That's all I'm saying. And it's never pretty when Saturn comes around, unless you're doing it the right way. Then you get your rewards, and Saturn gives great gifts. So you don't want to miss out on that. But this is really teaching us the discipline we need to build an empire. This is how I view this energy. And I think I'm going to be talking a little bit more about this throughout the weeks as we come to this eclipse season starting mid-April. So the second half of April, I'll be doing a lot of research and posting on the eclipse season. But the generational planets, we've already had Aries, that year of the entrepreneur, or generations of the entrepreneur that I think are coming up and coming now. And we're going to see a lot of that because Capricorn rules the career house, the business house. And even though we're not in that Capricorn energy that's strong, I think that Capricorn is catapulting that energy. And Mars and Capricorn work very well together. So I think we're seeing a lot of, what was that, back in 2007? Perhaps if you've been working on trying to build and create and find yourself now, after all that time, you could be really seeing your entrepreneurial career blowing up right now, or changing in a major way that you've probably been trying to do since then. But it's helping us move away from being reactionary and to being more proactive, and why that's important to building an empire. Like, right, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I think when we have that reactionary mindset, we think, get rich quick schemes. This mindset comes with this type of reactionary energy, or expecting to start something and it grow within the week, or even to see the growth within the week. And then, when it doesn't happen, you get depressed, and you get down on yourself, and you assume that you're not doing something right and that you could be doing better. And all those things could very well be possible, right? Because there's a rhyme and a reason, a structure and a system, that Capricorn energy, that things have to be done in order to get there. But Capricorn is a very slow energy, and you have to take your time and build on those things. So people who are starting now could be feeling really discouraged. Even if you feel like you found yourself finally and you're happy, things might not be working as quickly because we are shattering that reactionary mindset, that impulsive mindset, to more inward, more spiritual, more calm, more thought-provoking, more value, more, these are the types of skills and traits that you need to building something so important. And I think that's the lesson that we're learning now, that is really could be hard for a lot of people. So in order to build, in order to you have to know who you are, what you want, and have a plan. Sorry, I couldn't read my own damn writing. So in order to do so, you have to know who you are, where you're going, and have a plan for that, right? That's a very strategic process. It's not something you learn in a day. It does take time as you evolve, your plans, growth, goals evolve. And so you have to be patient with this process and yourself. And understanding, when I think of entrepreneurial from a Capricorn, an Aries perspective, I think of many different streams of income, right? And we got that Taurus and Uranus energy coming up strongly in the second half of the month, which is going to bring this up even more, because Taurus actually rules that energy, having how many different ways can I make money, and how many different ways can my money make more money, right? And I know that we kind of have this ideology about working hard and overworking is how you become successful, or are the traits that come with success, and things of this nature, I think, are dying in a sense, but not necessarily. And I'm trying to get my words right with this, because it's almost contradictory of what the message is. You do, in fact, have to work hard and be consistent and persistent, but it doesn't mean that you don't get to take breaks, or that you don't make time for your family, or you work yourself to death, that so much so that you're doing things, but they're not at the best of its ability. I see somebody in the chat. Let me go make sure. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I know she's like, Keisha, what the heck are you doing? You just did a lot. I'm doing the Aries New Moon now. That's what I'm talking about now. So there could be a lot of things coming up about these old beliefs and moral things and ethical things around what it actually takes to build a business, or an empire specifically, not just a business, right? Because where we're at financially, I think a lot of people are just beginning to understand that they need more money to even build a business in the first place. You need capital to do that, especially to do it in such a way where it expresses that idea that you don't have to work so hard, right? Where is the income coming in for you to not have to work so hard? And that's kind of what America has done very well. Again, it tricked us into believing, on the one hand, that working for somebody, one, was a benefit to us, and two, that it's super, super hard to build a business. You have to work hard. You gotta grind. You gotta damn near kill yourself, in a sense, to accomplish these things, right? And I think what last year kind of taught us was, well, first of all, we can do it from home with all this technology, right? If we're going to leverage technology in a positive way, because depending on who you speak to about that, things can get real funky, right? Technology, we know, can do some stuff to us, our body, etc., right? So being mindful of that perspective. I think what we learned is, even though we got to work from home and technology was leveraged and allowed that, it induced, created, emphasized burnout, right? It took away our exercise. We're not moving as much, or we're challenged to do so now when you're in the comfort of your own home, right? So there are like so many different things that I think I could pick up on and talk about that really start to describe, where the morals and the ethics come into, well, how do I not have to work so hard? And I think those are the conversations that people are having with themselves in your home, in your job, for your business, that are starting to get real cloudy. And then everybody has their own perspectives. And it's like, okay, but you have to find what's right for you, your path, and what it is you want to create, right? And then also making sure that you're falling in line with, legalities and all that other stuff when it comes to career and business, especially with COVID now, right? People have the choice to take this vaccine. That also changes their life and their perception of life and their reality. And then you got people who are like, I'm not taking that vaccine. And that changes their perspective in their life. So it's kind of a division, I think. That was the intended plan, is to divide us, but it's also showing us on a global scale how different we are, how we have different perspectives, and how can we build a platform, a safe space for all these new things that are coming up, to be able to respect other people's perceptions. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that we see over the next few years, especially next year when Pisces moves into, when Jupiter moves into Pisces. And I'm going to be doing a live on that. I'm probably going to talk for forever, because that's going to be a big deal. And it could also mean civil war. And it doesn't have to be like a real war. Remember, Aries is metaphorical. It could be, just a civil perceptions of everybody else, and disagreeing, and that kind of infight about all these differences, and how are we still going to be able to come together, work together, to build this humanitarian ideology that I think the age of Aquarius is bringing us. But just like anything else, when you say, hi, sweetheart, how are you? Hi, thank you for joining. I think on a really big scale, that's what we're going to have to go through, the dark side of that, right? I think this was the part that perhaps a lot of astrologers, at least that I listened to, were predicting that was going to come up last year. But with the lack of with the restrictions and everything, things didn't quite play out as they intended. But I think as things begin to open now, and everybody having these new ideas and ways that they can do things, it's not the old way. So we're going to have that infight. We're going to see that now, that war that I think was predicted last year. I think we're going to see that, but not I don't think we're actually going to have a war. I don't foresee that with the Aquarius energy, just because it's about humanitarian. But on a bigger scale, it's more so about building a safe space for people to have their differences and that be okay. Like, how are we still supporting each other with their different opinions for what works for them in a safe way? And that's going to be a challenge, but I think it's going to be something that we need to go through to get to this next stage of evolution that this Aquarius energy is trying to bring to us. And having that conversation is going to help. So I went on a bit of a tangent there, but I think that's going to come up a lot. So you have to educate yourself on how to incorporate you into your new plan. That's going to be another thing, is standing your ground in the decisions that you make. I'm great. Thank you. Hope you're well. Yes. Thank you. Do you think there's a war happening with ourselves? Oh yeah, for sure. That's the first part of the war. right? Is that we're fighting ourselves on whether or not we make these changes, and do we feed into this because it's different, right? And it could mean that you have to lose a lot of things that you were used to doing in order to create this new reality. And not everybody's there just yet. I do believe over the long term, we're talking about 2000, every age is 2000 years, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got a long time, but because we're the start of all of this, it's gonna look like turmoil because it's new. But I think that's what we're going to try to learn together, though, is how do we change the programs, the volunteering systems and structures that we have to support all of those things. And that's going to be the tough part, because COVID scared the crap out of a lot of people. So when you think about getting into a big room full of people with the possibility of getting sick, it's like, do I really want to be involved with that? So that's the division piece. And then you can start to feel alienated and unwanted, and depression comes with these types of things, And I think we have to remember that there is an agenda, right? And picking it apart from all different pieces, and stay the course, supporting where you can in all areas. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I feel that really, really heavy in my heart. But I think that we're going to get through it, though. I think overall, we're all eventually going to come to the same conclusion. It's just everybody's going to get there in their own way. They're going to have their own story to tell, because that's life, right? But yeah, educate yourself on how you incorporate you into your plan and still be also legal, protecting, and for gains. I really think this is teaching us the importance of that, the strong foundation, being comfortable with the process, and how to measure time and decision making. And then we have the Sun and Mercury and Venus square Pluto. That's going to be another tough one, because at the end of the month, we have Pluto going retrograde. I'm not ready for this. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because all Pluto's in Capricorn, which was what, among a bunch of other things, but Capricorn for sure was the reason where all the COVID, astrologically speaking anyway, this is where COVID was started last year. And once Pluto goes retrograde, that could mean another wave of COVID. I hate to say that out loud, but I think that's a possibility. I think it also could be truths coming up about where COVID actually came from, because we never really had that conversation, right? Nobody still really knows where it came from. I think the vaccine is going to come up, that conversation about the vaccine, which is, kind of what America does. They create things that are just Band-Aids. But we know we have all this natural health and these natural care products. Is there a way we can make it officially gone? Why does it have to be a vaccine? Hey, how you doing, Afro? That's cool. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. I think we could see a lot of these things coming up over the next few months, especially with things opening up more. Is the vaccine the only way we can do this? Especially if people start telling what's in it, or somebody gets sick, or, all these types of things here. It can bring up a lot of issues, questions, more uncertainty, all that energy we had experienced last year, where people might have to start closing things down again, or they have to rethink the vaccine, or come up with another kind of vaccine. There's just so much there that I feel like we didn't really get to the crux of it because we was all trying to be safe, right? I think we'll see a lot more of that being a bigger conversation. People having more questions, instilling more fear, because that's kind of what Pluto rules. And the bottom line is that we just need to have a conversation about it too. Making sure that we are actually having the best conversation to get to the root of the issue. And being mindful that we're not a part of the gender. I think that's the bigger thing with Aquarius, because Aquarius wants to empower humanity. It wants to uplift humanity. It wants humanity to be together. And I think, like, if you think back to when all this energy was happening and when it was coming up back in the hippie days, if you go back to my video where I kind of break all that stuff down, if it was an agenda to keep us apart because they knew this energy was coming up, they knew this time was coming up, not to be into that whole conspiracy theorist thing, but we really have to look at this from every angle to make sure we're doing and making the right decisions for everybody involved, especially when it comes to us coming together, because you know what happens when we come together, especially if we're doing it from our highest elevation. The people that they lose this fight in that energy. So also thinking about it from other people, like I know people who have gotten it, doing well, excelling, etc. However, maybe they got some kind of blood type that's not cohesive with this, or some health issues. Is it just for certain people and not everybody, and why? All angles need to be discussed. And yeah, I can go on about this all day. So, oh wow, I can imagine. And there was no closure. And does the vaccine work? Yeah. It says there's been a lot of females I know here over 50 having reactions to the vaccine. See, now I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't heard anybody have any negative experiences yet, but I'm really just worried that this is going to become a bigger issue. Not worried, and I shouldn't say it like that, but I'm good. How are you? I'm good, thank you. What does this say? Oh. Right, part of the agenda. Yeah, you gotta, consider all together we rise. Damn right. That's right. So we have to make sure that we're, taking into consideration all those different pieces for the betterment of humanity. Moon and Venus square Pluto is very intense emotions, especially around relationships. I'm not ready to have this conversation, y'all. I'm not. Okay? I don't want to deal with it. Relationships and I are not on the same page right now. If you have this in your relationship houses, so if you're having this placement in the 5th, 7th, or 11th house, or any of the rulers of that house, which is Leo, Libra, and Aquarius, this can bring up some issues around, wanting freedom and independence within relationships, and not just romantic. It could literally be all relationships, business partnerships, friendships. But this is really gonna weigh in on people who are in relationships. I never like when Pluto and Venus get together when it comes to relationships, because there's always some kind of power and control dynamic to it. This could be like people who like controlling people who are weaker than them, taking advantage of the weaker, manipulating, all those kinds of things there. I don't like that energy. So on the higher vibration of that. It could literally be that you're seeing things clearly in this kind of way, and you're actually finally going to leave a relationship, or you're going to see in some way that perhaps you or your partner have these kinds of traits, and you get some help to change those relationship ideologies that you may have that are keeping you in that lower vibration, to do better, be better, and learn. What's the opposite of Pluto is Taurus. So your values, your self-worth, you're learning not to accept the BS. And on the other side too, for the actual offenders and abusers, right? They could be getting caught in some stuff that forces them to have to go to some kind of group work, counseling, things of these natures could come up. So I hate to say stuff like this, but like rape victims, court cases, things involving the police and things of this nature could be coming up where, people are winning cases around these types of things, and people are starting to get help now because, it has brought light of the issue, and somebody's being set free in some kind of way. Another way this could come up is that you're wanting or looking for some kind of money from a divorce, or some kind of legal issues around debt, taxes, and other people's money. And perhaps you lose. This isn't a supportive energy, especially if somebody was manipulated and taken advantage, etc. Yeah. So that's another aspect that could be coming up here. I was thinking about doing a tarot reading for that because I feel like tarot is really good for that type of energy, but I don't even know if I want to be in that space. I got to be honest with you. But yeah. But Venus square Pluto, this is the new you. Are you being tested by who you are against who you were? That I talked about that. That's definitely a major issue that could be coming up. So that infight again with with your personal self, your inner demons, the inner daily routines and things that you do on a regular basis that you don't change, like doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Those things could be coming up where you're infighting yourself. Like, I know I'm trying to be new. I know I'm trying to be better, but I still keep getting the same responses or seeing the same things, passionate. But hey, how you doing? Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. I think, this could be that, again, that battle. And I think Rebel said it. She asked a question about that. But, fighting within yourself about some things that you're trying to change, but you're not seeing the results. So you're possibly feeling like, well, damn, am I not doing something right? Could I be doing more, different, better? Those types of things could be coming up. She said, I come on just in time. Yes, you did. Oh, a lot of those internal fights, self-talk, negative self-talk that we have with ourselves. This could be bringing a lot of that stuff back up again. But it's really just to help us build a stronger foundation with that inner energy and just understanding it's all a part of the process, right? Anybody who's been through anything in life and came out a better person, it's because they went through some kind of hell. And that's just Pluto energy. It rules the underworld, the underground. So it comes with some kind of hardship, right? That's why Pluto is transformational energy, is like the butterfly turning into the caterpillar, turning into the butterfly. And that process, like birthing a baby, is extremely painful. It should be against the law. But we do it, and we bring these beautiful babies into this world, and it's amazing, right? So this could also be fear and doubt can come up, feeling like this new change is impossible. Oh my God, it's so overwhelming, right? Trying to be this better person. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I literally took 2 naps today. I was like, not today. I'm not doing it. I'm not interested. But that was kind of myself saying, you know what, I just need to recognize that I'm tired, and that's okay, right? Um, Gosh, yes, I know. It's exhausting. It's like freaking exhausting. Um, but there could be some internal power struggles, but keep evolving. Don't go back to what you used to do. Show yourself gratification. Get your nails done, your toes done. Love on yourself. And that's just it. That's just what we have to do when these things come up, is to let it be, let this too shall pass, right? I feel like that's really annoying to say, though, right? Because when I'm really mad that something's not working out, I don't want to be consoled. I really don't. I don't want you to tell me it's going to be okay. I'm angry and I want what I want. And that's okay too. You know what? You just have to know yourself within these processes and set up some, put some things in place that boundaries. That's a good word for this. So just being comfortable enough with saying I'm angry. I'm not in the mood for it. So I'm just going to go over here in my corner and cry like a big fat baby, because that's what I do every time. Promise you, I be in here having a whole damn fit. Miss Rebel says, get your nails did. Yes, you have to. You got to take care of yourself. Do your hair, whatever. Dress up nice, whatever. Whatever you do to feel good about yourself. And you know what? Be okay with that. Afro's laughing. What part about me going to cry in a corner? I do. I promise you. My 4-year-old starts crying about stuff I'm not going. I said, well, I'm going to cry too. We'll be in here crying together. But then we got Sun square the moon and Pluto. This is you shedding your new skin, or shedding your old skin rather, and anything that isn't you. So this could also be ending an old karmic cycle, no longer repeating things that no longer serve you, getting rid of the repetitious things, or coming up with new repetitious things, right? Because things that you do repetitively become your reality, right? And so understanding that process, that, those things that you did, first of all, let's stop calling them bad. Can we do that? Can we stop saying that? I think that was for me, not for anybody else in the building. These are not negative things, because those things got us up until this point, right? But now we're ready for that next level of ourselves, our evolution, and what change looks like, and just accepting that we got to set up some new repetitive daily lifestyles, things, because that's just where we're at, and that's okay. I think my new word this year is going to be, setting up new ways of doing things that match the new you, the new life that you're trying to create for yourself. That's going to be my new favorite phrase for the whole year. So, but you're different. You're going to gain the courage to do all these things from Mars, Aries in general, this entire season. And it's going to give us the longevity to do all those things, right? And not give up, not give in to the old way. This is definitely the ending of that cycle of like, all right, I need to go back to do something that's keeping me in this illusion, right? That's no longer serving your higher purpose. So Saturn's going to show us how to show up in the world, or how these things show up in the world. Like when you do the work, you get some kind of reward, or you get a yes somehow, some way in your process, which is going to make you feel loved again, and like, wow, all that work that I did was really worth it. And you'll start to see little things in there coming in bit by bit. I really think that's going to be for the next few months. It's just like, I hate saying stuff like that because I know people are really going through some major shit. And sometimes even when you have that one thing work out, you still got 7 other things that they're not working. It's not working, you know? So it's like, don't tell me that. But overall, in general, generally speaking, that's what this energy is giving us, is those small rewards to show us that the work that we are doing is it's worth it, you know. And though it's going to take a long time and we might not see it right away, it's coming together, and you'll get more pieces to the story. And you know, I'm not inclined to sell anybody cupcakes when, you know, cupcakes ain't the only thing on the table. So, you know, respectfully saying that there's still going to be some bullshit that you got to deal with, and that's just, unfortunately, that's life. So yeah, right. And what else have we got here? I think that about wraps it up. I really like this energy. I'm happy about this time. I think things are going to come through for us. I really believe that. And I will figure this thing out one day at a time, you know, one day at a time. So thank you, everybody, for showing up. I appreciate y'all so much for your time and your energy today. And make sure you're following us on IG, where I'm on there the most. And check out our website for any updates and things of that nature. I hope this information was helpful. Peace.
A Way of Life is a coaching consultant company. We help people manage their career and business using astrology. Astrology is a holistic process that allows us to help people align with what they are passionate about. We provide the tools to build your personal development to live your best life. A Way of Life coaching consulting company. For a reading or coaching, call Keisha Reed at 781-602-0986. That's 781-602-0986. Or check our website, www.awayoflife.net. That's www.awayoflife.net. A Way of Life is a coaching consultant company. Live your best life.